Hey everybody, my name is Jack, and today we're going to be looking at the Cyclone Analogic TT-303 Mark II. Now there's a lot of 303 clones out there on the market, so it can be pretty hard to tell the difference between them. So in this video I wanted to break down some of the features that make this synth unique. This synth came out in 2017 as a replacement to the original Mark I from Cyclone. And this one features this updated, sleek design, and more importantly, it packs in some new features that make it a lot more playable with the rest of your gear. Let's get into it. If you have ever used a 303 sequencer, then you have likely been confronted with the lack of visual interface or ability to tell which step of the sequence you're editing. While this can definitely make it harder to make a sequence sound exactly the way you want it in your head, people often comment on how this sequencer produces happy accidents that you never would have thought of using a standard piano roll. The TT-303 faithfully reproduces the same painstaking editing of the original. To enter notes this way, turn the mode dial to right, select an empty pattern slot, and press the edit button. You'll now be able to add a step by pressing a note and enter modifiers such as down, up, accent, and slide. In addition to these four modifiers, the Mark II has added the mute and hammer. The manual says that the mute modifier mimics a palm mute on a bass guitar and will make the note sound shorter and less bright. And the hammer modifier simulates a hammer on or hammer off and makes the note hammer into the note of the next step. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by hammer specifically, but it seems to make the note louder and shorter. If you get tired of making sequences manually, the Cyclone Mark I and II have the ability to generate random patterns based on 9 different rhythmic styles. To create a new pattern, just turn the mode dial to preset and select a slot you want to overwrite, and press function and generate. When you press play, you'll hear a randomly generated pattern with a musical rhythm. One of the great things about this machine is that many of the functions can be activated while the sequencer is running. So if you hit function and generate again, at the end of that pattern, it will start playing a wholly new sequence. If you want to try a different rhythmic style, you can turn to another pattern here and hit play. So the manual says that styles 1 and 2 produce fluid styles to make a lead instrument, and styles 3 and 4 produce simple glitched bass riffs in 4 or 2/4 time. These give you some control over the output of the pattern generator, but the sequences will still have totally random pitches and modifiers. That's where this new feature on the Mark II comes in really handy. In the Pattern Lab mode, you get way more control over the pitch of the output of the pattern generator. If you set the mode dial to Pattern Lab, you can select an open destination, press the edit button, and you can now select which pitches you want the sequencer to be able to choose from. You can then enter modifiers and press function and generate. Now when you press play, you'll get a random sequence. Based on the notes and the tempo you put in. You can also, of course, change the rhythmic style, change the notes, and hit function and generate again. Get a totally different style. So this can be a really fun way to make a sequence that is related to the pitches of your original track and get some control over the rhythm and the accents, but have it be a totally randomly generated pattern that is totally unique to you. The Pattern Lab can make it way easier to create a sequence that's in tune with the rest of your track without having to manually enter in every step. So what you can do is play the elements of a track that you're working on. I have something here on the MPC, and you can tell it's lacking a bass line. So what I can do over here is audition steps using the note keys and see which notes I want to include in my sequence. And then the sequencer can randomly grab from those notes to create a sequence. And then you can also add in your modifiers, hit function generate. Sometimes it's pretty wild, but you can always see what else you get. You can also change what rhythm style you're using. And once you find something you like, then you can go ahead and save it to your user memory. So we just select the pattern you want, hit copy, go into write, select an open space, go ahead and hit paste, and we can now hear our sequence in the user memory. So another really cool way you can edit this is while the sequencer is running, by pressing edit, you can now add real-time manipulation to the sequence, such as transposing by pressing one of the note keys. You can also go up and down an octave with the down keys, and you'll notice the note keys will latch, so they'll stay pressed, whereas the modifier keys you have to hold down to get the effect. And another thing that's cool about this, if you go into the loop edit mode, it'll actually save those changes into the memory of the machine. So this can be a little dangerous if you don't want to mess up a sequence you're using. So you can go ahead and copy and paste it to a new pattern so you don't mess up your original, and then you can create a new variation by pressing the modifiers live. And we'll see now that instantly is repeating and saved into the memory. So that's a really quick way to create simple variations of a sequence you're working on. And so those are the main features from the TT-303 that I really enjoy, mainly the Pattern Lab and the Loop Edit mode. It really allows you to, get some more random ideas out of this thing without having to count the steps in your head and try to keep everything going without skipping a step. So I'll just take you guys out with a little jam, but thank you so much for stopping by the video. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.